So I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see this video.
There is a study by Morgan Stanley Financial. They did you can go find it too. It's online. It's called The Rise of the She Economy. In that sort of research, they postulate that by 2030, women between the ages of 25 and 44, something like 52%. I hope I'm getting my numbers right. Something like 45 to 52%.
It's over half.
Yeah, over
it is
half
going to be over half
of women of marriageable age will be single for the rest of their lives. They will not reproduce unless they get unless they get artificial insemination, but they will be unmarried and childless during those ages by 2030, which is like a very, very steep incline. In fact, they are so certain of this that they did this research on Morgan Stanley so their investors would know what to invest in the coming decade.
So the nigga says by the year 2030, 52% of women are gonna be single. I can already say that 52% of black women are single right now. We ain't gotta wait till fucking 2032. But he's saying within 7 years, half the female population in America are gonna be single. As they should. Bitches want niggas to concede to too many fucking demands. Nobody got time to be kissing your ass, right? You got these women talking about they make their own money, they can do this, they can buy that. Bitches can't seem to stay out of debt. That's another story though. To this, I don't give a fuck. I'm possibly done with long-term committed relationships. I ain't trying to get married. It sounds like bad news for the hoes out there, but I will say this next video, this is probably why.
What the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people?
Mm-hmm.
Mothers? Women?
If you'd like to call them mothers, not all of them are mothers, but if you'd like to call them that.
What are they if they're not mothers?
They're pregnant people.
What people other than mothers are pregnant?
Does it bother you to use inclusive language?
Well,
it's just interesting.
I prefer to use precise language.
It's interesting because you come into this conversation, trying to hold this moral superiority. But then
I try to be moral when I can, but
Right, but when I use inclusive language, which it only takes a couple extra syllables to use inclusive language.
To include
and
who?
It seems to include people who don't, identify as women but can become pregnant.
So, like a person who's born a woman and then identifies as a man and is pregnant.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that in order to be a moral person, I need to accept the idea that a man, someone who is born a man and looks like a man, can really become a woman. That's a prerequisite of my being a moral person.
I mean, yes. To me it is, because if you are trying to deny someone of their identity and deny what their life experience is, then that doesn't seem like a moral stance to me. I want to be accepting and I want to respect people's life experiences and respect the way that they want to identify and respect the way that they want to present themselves to the world.
Bronte, I would like to identify, I do identify actually, as the correct person on this issue of abortion. Okay. I identify as being correct and more correct than you on this issue. And I would just ask that you accept and affirm my identity. Do you?
Well, you are not a medical professional, and abortion and pregnancy is a medical concern. That's not your identity.
That is my identity. I promise you, that's my identity.
Now, you seen that video. This bitch was saying a whole bunch of incoherent babble. This is why men ain't committing to women, because they saying stupid shit. This is when women need to shut the fuck up, maybe be submissive and learn something. This bitch was doing mental gymnastics, conceding that men can have babies, or other people. I don't know what other people give birth other than women or females, but this is one of the many reasons that it's going to be 52% of women fucking single and unwed and unchild. Because men don't have time to be talking to a stupid bitch, right? This is when, like, as my father used to say, being too smart for your own fucking good comes to bite you in the ass. This bitch is literally doing mental gymnastics, and my man here ain't having it, right? Real niggas speak logical sense, and when a bitch don't seem to understand it, we ain't got time to be making you understand it. You gonna be by yourself. You gonna be Catwoman, and I don't mean the goddamn DC character. I mean, you gonna be a bitch that got 4, 5, 6, 7 cats and plants around her house. Or if you ain't a Catwoman, you gonna be a dog bitch. Like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. You got all these women that are just hell-bent on not listening, not taking suitable advice, not paying attention to what they man's directives are, and just freestyling it. Like this bitch. This chick literally looks about 30 years old. You too old to be saying incoherent, stupid shit. I feel like anybody, man or woman, after the age of 30, shit that comes out your mouth should make sense. You should think about the shit you say. I mean, critically. This bitch literally wasn't critically thinking. about the shit she was saying. She was just talking for the sake of talking. And this is what causes hoes to stay alone, wondering why they don't got a man. Or the bitch jumping over the fence and becoming a dyke. No offense to the studs. I'm just, 1986 rhetoric. So all I say on this is that, yeah, we real men out here, we don't give a fuck. And I'll tell you one thing. Whether it is the rise of trans women, a bunch of lonely, obnoxious bitches that we don't want to commit to, that's not gonna force us into shit. Real men know that you get your coins. We'll buy prostitutes if we're not setting up families and get married. We'll just pay for pussy. But for the real niggas that don't concede to bullshit, this won't affect us. We'll just get prostitutes. We'll find women from other countries. Not necessarily that women from other countries will accept less, but they seem to have a better head on their shoulders, right? They don't really buy into the diluted bullshit. You have too many women in America literally co-signing their replacement with the rise of trans women. Like, why any woman, period, whether black, white, Asian, would co-sign this is beyond me. But this just goes to show that it's some stubborn, thick-headed, stupid assholes out there, and they gonna be alone. Anyways, happy holidays, bitches.
No one's ready to deal with us.